Pablo Escobar was a Colombian drug lord whose ruthless ambition implicated his wife, daughter, and son in the notorious Medellin cartel until his death. Pablo Escobar was a Colombian drug trafficker who eventually controlled more than 80% of the cocaine shipped to the United States, making him one of Forbes magazine's top 10 wealthiest people in the world. Escobar entered the cocaine trade in the early 1970s, forming the Medellin cartel with other criminals. He rose to prominence by supporting charitable causes and soccer clubs, but terror campaigns that resulted in the deaths of thousands turned public opinion against him. Escobar was born on December 1, 1949, in Antioquia, Colombia. His family later relocated to the Envigado neighborhood. Escobar was born into a low-income family. His father was a peasant farmer, and his mother was a schoolteacher. Escobar had a singular ambition to rise above his humble beginnings from a young age. Escobar allegedly began his criminal career by stealing tombstones and selling forged diplomas. He didn't take long to start stealing cars and then moving into the smuggling business. Escobar rose to prominence during the Marlboro Wars, when he played a prominent role in controlling Colombia's smuggled cigarette market. This incident served as an excellent training ground for the future narcotics kingpin. Escobar married 15-year-old Maria Victoria in 1976. The couple had two children, Juan Pablo and Manuela. Today, Escobar's son, Sebastian Marroquin, works as a motivational speaker. Colombia's dominance in the cocaine trade did not happen by chance. Beginning in the early 1970s, the country became a popular marijuana smuggling route. However, as the cocaine trade expanded, Colombia's geographical location proved to be its most valuable asset. Situated at the northernmost tip of South America, between the thriving coca cultivation epicenters of Peru and Bolivia, the country came to dominate the global cocaine trade, with the United States, the drug's largest market, only a short flight to the north. Escobar seized control of the cocaine trade quickly. Fabio Restrepo, a drug trafficker from Medellin, Colombia, was murdered in 1975. Large amounts of coca paste were purchased in Bolivia and Peru, processed and transported to America under Escobar's leadership. Escobar formed the infamous Medellin cartel with a small group of associates. By the mid-1980s, Escobar's net worth was estimated to be $30 billion, and Forbes named him one of the top 10 richest people on the planet. Escobar purchased a Learjet solely for the purpose of transporting his money. At the time, Escobar controlled more than 80% of the cocaine smuggled into the U.S. More than 15 tons were reportedly smuggled each day, earning the Medellin cartel up to $420 million per week. When Escobar realized he had no chance of becoming Colombia's president, and with the U.S. pursuing his capture and extradition, he unleashed his rage on his adversaries in the hopes of influencing Colombian politics. In exchange for giving up the drug trade, he wanted a no-extradition clause and amnesty for drug lords. As a young man, Escobar told friends and family that he aspired to be Colombia's president. However, he saw crime as his path to wealth and legitimacy. Escobar was elected as an alternate member of Colombia's Congress in 1982. But the reasons for his wealth could not be kept hidden forever, and he was forced to resign 2 years after his election. The justice minister who revealed Escobar's infamous past was later assassinated. Escobar murdered thousands of people, including politicians, civil servants, journalists, and ordinary citizens. When Escobar realized he had no chance of becoming Colombia's president, and with the U.S. pursuing his capture and extradition, he unleashed his rage on his adversaries in the hopes of influencing Colombian politics. In exchange for giving up the drug trade, he wanted a no-extradition clause and amnesty for drug lords. 3 Colombian presidential candidates, an attorney general, scores of judges, and over 1,000 police officers were killed as a result of Escobar's terror campaign. Furthermore, Escobar was implicated as the mastermind behind the 1989 bombing of a Colombian jetliner, which killed over 100 people. Escobar's terror eventually turned public opinion against him, causing the Drug Traffickers Alliance to disband. Escobar surrendered to Colombian President Cesar Gaviria government in June 1991. In exchange, the threat of extradition was lifted, and Escobar was permitted to construct his own luxury prison. guarded by men he handpicked from among his employees. The prison lived up to its name, with a casino, spa, and nightclub. However, Escobar escaped in June 1992 when authorities attempted to transfer him to a more standard holding facility. A 16-month manhunt was launched in search of the drug lord. During that time, the Medellin cartel's monopoly, which had begun to deteriorate during Escobar's imprisonment as police raided offices and killed its leaders, deteriorated rapidly. Escobar's family unsuccessfully sought asylum in Germany. Escobar, on the other hand, was not so fortunate. On December 2, 1993, Colombian law enforcement apprehended the fugitive Escobar in a middle-class neighborhood of Medellin. A firefight ensued, and Escobar and his bodyguard were shot and killed as they attempted to flee across a series of rooftops. The death of Escobar hastened the demise of the Medellin cartel and Colombia's pivotal role in the cocaine trade. His death was commemorated by the country's government and people all over the world. His family was given police protection. Despite this, many Colombians mourned his death. More than 25,000 people attended Escobar's funeral. He built houses and cared about the poor. One funeral goer stated at Escobar's funeral in a story reported by the New York Times, "In the future, people will go to his tomb to pray, the way they would to a saint." Two American drug enforcement agents, Mr. Murphy and Mr. Pina, who had been working on the Escobar case for years, assisted in the manhunt. Their story served as the foundation for the 2015 Netflix series Narcos. In 2016, Escobar's brother Roberto announced his intention to sue Netflix for $1 billion for misrepresenting their family in the Netflix series Narcos. In real life, Roberto was Escobar's accountant for his drug gang, but in the show, the accountant is a non-family member who turns out to be a CIA agent. Roberto Escobar's efforts have since been abandoned. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification. We thank you for watching today's video. We'll see you in the next one.